economics operates, physical world versus crypto world, and then we'll move into how that actually can be perceived in the tokenomics perspectives. So Lisa?
In steps are economic.
Yes.
Good.
So we're going to do a very high level analysis of economics and tokenomics. Then we're going to compare them side by side to give you a more understanding of what it means in the crypto world. So we're going to look at economics in the top level with two very big sectors. One is the market structure and one is the players in the market. So market structure is a big thing in economics. It's basically how the market is structured, like literally the words. So there are a few ways to kind of categorize them. You have 4 different ways, which I'll explain a little bit more in detail. One is perfect competition, monopolistic competition, oligopoly, and monopoly. Sounds like very fluffy words. I'll explain a little bit more in details. Monopolistic competition are like your newspaper stands, mom and pop shop that you see along the street, where it's easy to enter. The price is defined by the seller. The seller wants to say, okay, this bottle of water is £1, and the other guy says this bottle is £1 and 10 pence. So you get to define that. It's quite easy to enter. Tomorrow I can say I want to start up a mom and pop shop, and I can do that. So that's monopolistic competition. Oligopoly is someone that's a bit more, they have a bit more market power. Something like telecom companies. You've got Virgin, you've got 3, you've got BT. But tomorrow I can't just say, I'm going to start a node unlock phone company, and then you can buy my network and stuff like that. It's not so easy. So there's some competitors in the market. And then monopoly is the more extreme, where you just have like one big player. You're like the king of everything. You get all the profits, you define how much the price is, and people have no choice but to pay. So you've got like our big brother Google, and you've got Disney, where they own everything.
The most magical place on the planet.
Yeah. So that's the physical world. But theoretically, the best way you can ever kind of maximize utility, which means you can get the best good for everyone in the world, is perfect competition. So how perfect competition is defined is where the price is determined by the users, by the people. So it gives us, the user, more autonomy to say, okay, this bottle, I don't want to pay £1, I'm going to pay just 50p. And you can pay 50p because you define the price. So that's how perfect competition works, and that's where we see this happening in the crypto world, which is a big plus in the crypto world. So for example, if you buy Bitcoin in Q1 of last year versus Bitcoin in Q4 of last year, was completely different because people define the price. That's why it caused the price difference. At the same time, there is a small differentiation where you have monopolistic competition in it because different coins have different differentiating factors. So for example, if you have Zcoin and Zcash, they sound the same, they use very similar technologies, but there's some differentiating factors which makes them a bit different. So these are the two market structures. Is there anything you want to ask about? Does anyone understand? Like, does anyone not understand anything? Like, is there any questions?
Do you understand the words coming out of my mouth?
Yes. So I don't want to get too technical, but I hope to give you some flavor in it. So this brings us to the next point, which is, to me, I think it's very important. It's the players in the market. So who are we talking to? Who is in the crypto world? Who is in the physical world? We can split them into 3 big groups. You have the government, you have the firms, and you have the household. In the real world, government is the central bank. If we're looking at money, I think one of you said earlier that the government just defines the supply of money, right? Today I want to have 10% more, I'm going to print 10% more of money. And then tomorrow, I don't want to have so much money, I'm going to reduce the supply of money. So that's all they do. Government defines the supply of money. This translates to how much money we have, inflation rate, interest rates, all the buzzwords that government always talk about in budgets. So that's where the government comes in. Whereas in the crypto world, you don't have government. It's all decentralized. Government is centralized, but the whole purpose of crypto is decentralized. And this is where the code and people comes in. The code that's being written defines how money how money supply is defined, how money supply increases, and this translates to interest rate and inflation rate, which we'll talk about later. So in the real world, you have firms, which is companies transacting, creating goods and services, transact for money with the people. And in the crypto world, it's a bit different. You have the consortiums, which are like big alliance that we talked about just now with your banks, and these people just kind of work together as a big alliance group. And then you have nodes, which are people like you and me, and we trade online.